Stampers, Kim from StampingImperfection.com. Welcome to my craft room. I wanted to share two projects with you today, and one is a Christmas card, one is a tag, ornament, gift topper, whatever you want to use it for. These both use the Bright and Beautiful stamp set and the Stars framelit set. These can be purchased as a bundle to save 15% at mystampingstore.com. So you can order them online, and I wanted to show you some fun things that I did with them and give you the dimensions of all of the things that I've measured here. So to start out with, I've cut with 4 of the framelits. I cut the largest one I cut out in Cherry Cobbler. The next largest one I cut out of the silver foil. Now the silver foil, you get 2 12 by 12 sheets per package, so you'll need to cut that down a little bit and then cut out your star so it fits through the Big Shot. Then I used the 2 smallest sizes to cut out 2 more silver stars. Okay, so I've got those. I still have more stars to cut out, but I want to do some embossing first. I also have a piece of Cherry Cobbler cut at 4 1/4 by 11. I scored it at 5 1/2. I have a piece of Whisper White cut 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of silver foil that I cut at 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. And then I sent it through the Big Shot with my Stars embossing folder. And this again is another new product in the holiday catalog. So I get this really pretty dry emboss look. The foil just embosses beautifully, both dry embossing and heat embossing. So the next thing I want to do is for each of these projects, I want to create the embossed parts. So I really need 4 pieces embossed in Cherry Cobbler and 1 embossed in the silver. So let me start with the silver one. So I'm going to take a piece of silver foil, and I cut this out about 4 by 4 or so because I wanted the one remaining star. This is the middle star. I wanted that one cut out, so I'm using my Versamark pad, and I've got the coordinating stamp from the Bright and Beautiful stamp set. This is the middle stamp star image. This is a super pretty one. I want to really ink this up really well with the Versamark, and then I'm just going to stamp it, and try not to rock your stamp, but you want to get a good coverage. I've got my a piece of copy paper underneath, and then I'm just going to cover it with a silver embossing powder. Tap that in there. I'm going to give it a few good flicks to get rid of the excess. So that's all ready to be heat set. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the Cherry Cobbler pieces that I need. Okay, so to create the card, I actually need 2 stars stamped on Whisper White and the greeting. So I'm taking the mat that I cut to go with my card. It's cut 4 by 5 1/4, and along the bottom I'm going to stamp my greeting and add embossing powder. And then I'm going to take the medium star and the small star, and I'm going to stamp those on a separate piece of Whisper White. And I'm also going to stamp my greeting on a separate piece of Whisper White, and I will emboss those in the Cherry Cobbler. So I need to have a small star, I need to have the medium star, and I want to leave space between those, and I need to have 2 greetings. And I need one of the greetings to be centered along the bottom of that mat. And I'm using the Seasons greeting. I love this. The font of this is so pretty. And I'm going to try to center it and get it straight. And then I'm going to add it to this. There we go. Now I will pour the Cherry Cobbler embossing powder on top of each of these. My Versamark is really goopy because I just inked it up, so that's a good thing because I'm doing a lot at once. Okay, and these images are all set. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat set everything with my heat tool. Okay, I finished heat setting all of my images. Now I'm going to use the middle star and the smaller star to cut these out. To cut out my greeting, I used the Cards and Labels Framelits dies from Project Life, and I cut it out so that I had it centered like this. I cut it out, and then when I got it cut out again, I slid this over to make it small so that it would fit in. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just going to put this like this. So now when I get these cut out, I can just punch them out. I need this one again for my silver foil. So now I'll put my silver foil down, I'll put that framelit down, the same framelit I used for the red one. This is the middle star size. And then I'm going to put my greeting back down, and this time I'm going to slide it over just like this. I'm going to center it in the framelit, slide it over, and run it through again, and that just makes it a little bit smaller. With all the pieces created for these two projects, I can now put the projects together. Let's start with the star ornament, tag topper, gift tag, whatever you want to use it for. I'm just going to put my layers together, so I'll take the large cherry cobbler and the large plain silver foil star, and I'm just going to glue that silver foil star on top. I'm just going to center it on the top. The beauty of the framelits, when you get a set of framelits like this, is the ease of creating your layers. You know, years ago it would have taken a lot of measuring to do that. My next layer is going to be my embossed, silver embossed star, and I've put quite a few Stampin' Dimensionals. I might not have needed quite so many, but I wanted it to be flat, and sometimes with heat embossing it warps a little tiny bit. So I'm just going to put a bunch of those on. I'm going to center this on top of the other one. I like the touch that the heat embossing adds. It just is a little extra something. Now I've got my Season's Greeting sentiment, and I put two little tiny pieces of the Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. I just cut up some of the edges, and I'm just going to slide this under here like this. And the next touch I have is one of these snowflake, these are snowflake, all is calm snowflake embellishments, and they come with a little, it almost looks like you could use this as a necklace, you know, or little tiny ornaments. So it comes with a little top that you can thread ribbon through, or baker's twine. I just tied a piece of silver taffeta around it, and I added, in the center, I added a rhinestone, just a large rhinestone. The rhinestones have glue dots on the back, so it's easy to do. That's an easy touch to add, and otherwise it's got a little tiny hole in the center, which doesn't look bad, but I just really liked it with that touch. Now I'm going to take a hole puncher, and I'm just going to punch a hole so that I can thread my cherry cobbler, the sheer linen ribbon, and it's about 9.5 inches. You know, you make it as long as you want. I'm just going to pull this through. I just love this wide ribbon. I feel like it adds just a great touch to cards and projects. And then I'm just going to take a piece of silver taffeta. I'm just going to tie this in a knot. You could tie it in a knot or a bow, either one. And that's going to create my little tag topper. And then I can trim the ribbons up. Just trim those up. Oops, crash. Just like that. And then if you want to, you can add some more little rhinestones. I added a couple of rhinestones around. If you want to do that, you can do that, and that completes the tag topper. So that's pretty quick and easy. Once you get everything cut and embossed, let's put our card together now. So I have my card base for, then I'm going to take my Whisper White mat, which I've already stamped and embossed my greeting in the cherry cobbler. And the greeting is from the same bright and beautiful stamp set. I have my embossed piece of silver foil. This was 3.5 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to add that to the top. And I'm just going to place this so there's an even amount of white cardstock above the card, the silver foil, and on each side. Now I've got a piece of the cherry cobbler ribbon, and I'm going to add this with glue dots. I'm just going to put 2 glue dots on each end, like this, and then I'm going to wrap the ends around this mat, trying not to cover up my greeting, trying to get it as straight as possible. I'm just attaching the glue dots to the back. Okay, and then I also added this little snowflake, and again I've attached a rhinestone to the center. I put some silver taffeta through, and I put enough silver taffeta here because I wanted to actually tie this hanging here. So you're just going to tie this on, and I don't always get my greetings in the center, so this is kind of a perfect, like, maybe I even should have off-centered that greeting a little bit, and I just pulled this a little bit because I wanted it to look a little puckered there. I just liked the way that looked. And to finish this off, I'm going to trim this up, and I'm going to add a glue dot underneath that snowflake so that it is flat on my paper. Just like that. There we go. Now I'm going to attach this with glue to the front of my card. Now I can just layer on my stars. And to start with, I'm going to actually use, and you can see I did not center this well in my framelit, so you'll want to be more careful than I was there. I'm just going to put 3 dimensionals on the back of this. I'm going to have a lot of dimension on the back of this because each one of these layers is going to have dimension. Center this on the card front on the silver foil. Then I have the silver star. I'll just put 1 dimensional on the back of that. Center that on my cherry cobbler one. Now I have the smallest cherry cobbler embossed star, and 1 dimensional will be perfect on top of this. And to finish this off, my one final touch is I have one of the giant sequins, and this comes from the All Is Calm, this is the, I think this is the frosted sequins, and you get different size silver sequins along with some white snowflakes. And if you put a rhinestone in the center of that, it kind of reflects the light and gives it a little bit extra sparkle. So that completes my tag and my Christmas cards. Now on the back of the tag, I can use, I could put a white star of a smaller size stamped with the To From stamp set. Everybody's got a To From stamp set, and you can stamp that and actually make it a tag if you want to. So there you go, just a couple of quick projects using the silver foil, the bright and beautiful stamp set, and the stars framelits. Enjoy! Stop by my blog at stampingimperfection.com. Make sure you like this video below and share with your friends, and make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel for more tips, tricks, and ideas. Thanks for watching!